everybody, Crow here, back with another pickups video. But before I actually start on the pickups, I want to mention one thing, and that is that I am not going to really be visiting Playfire anytime in the near future. Not until at least they fix the site to where I could use it. I was using Playfire to keep track of my collection, and it needed work even back when I updated my stuff. But now it's just completely impossible to find anything in my collection. They updated the site to where you know every single achievement you're getting, but you don't know what games you have. I mean, I could bring up a list of the games I have, but I can't put them in any sort of order or anything. So I'm actually switching my collection back to Collectorz Connect. I mean, when I switched to Playfire, my subscription to Collectorz Connect had run out, and I didn't know if I want to repay the annual fee to renew to do that. And I was like, I'm going to do Playfire. So I spent all my time, I spent about a week putting all my games on Playfire. Now I could put games on there, but it's impossible to pinpoint what I have on there or not. I'm sure it's, for anybody looking at what games I had, it was impossible as well. Also recently, Collectorz Connect sent me an email offering me a discount price to renew. So I renewed, and it's just far easier for me to do that because Collectorz Connect's link synchronizes with the Collectorz program on my computer. So I don't have to enter my games in Collectorz on my computer and then Playfire. I could just do it on Collectorz on my computer and then synchronize it with Collectorz Connect and the app on my phone. So it's far less work for me to do it that way. And I've updated my profile on my YouTube channel, linking back to Collectorz Connect. And if you're interested, I'll just throw that link in the video here showing where you could look at my collection if you're interested. All that being said, got pretty so-so thing. I'm running out of words. A lot here. You know, my wife actually picked up all this stuff. I didn't buy one thing that's going to be in this video. I have purchased some stuff, but I did it online, and that stuff hasn't come in the mail yet. So most of the stuff is from Goodwill, and I'm just going to get started with this PlayStation she bought for $6.99 at Goodwill. It looks like it's in really good condition. She bought it just because, you know, just to have an extra one, I guess, you know, for spares. But this is one of the newer models. It doesn't have the serial port. It doesn't have the AV cables the really early ones had. But that's all right. I'm sure this thing works. I haven't really tested it. It didn't come with any cables, but it looks in great condition. It did come with these two controllers, the very first ones, with the no analog or whatnot. But you know, for those early PlayStation games, these work fine. She also picked up a N64 transfer pack. I know that these work with like the Pokemon games, Pokemon Stadium, so you could put you know, your Pokemon game there and transfer them to the cartridge, or I guess that's how it works. I never did it. And I think this worked with Mario Golf as well, with the Game Boy Mario Golf. And finally, she got this pretty cool Nintendo 64 steering wheel controller. It's really nice. I mean, it's got a rubber grip around here, and the A/B buttons are mapped to this trigger in the back. So, you know, I'm going to have to try out some racing games with this thing, because I remember seeing this when it first came out. I think this was on the PlayStation as well, thinking it was really cool, but I never got one. So, oh, look at it, AB off, AB on. Interesting. But yeah, this is for Nintendo 64. I'll have to try it out to see how well it works. For $3.99 for this thing. As for games, she picked up a pretty good amount of games. A couple of them are doubles, and I'm going to go over these first. And before you ask, well, why did she pick up doubles of these games? One, I never updated the app on her phone showing what games I had. So she didn't know some of the stuff I had. Other stuff she knew I had, but she bought it just because it was really cheap. So, you know, first thing is the game she even got last week was WCW NWO Revenge. She forgot she bought this last week, and it wasn't in her phone to tell her that I already had it, so she bought another copy of that. It was $1, you know. She got another copy of Pokemon Stadium. I think she just bought this just because it was so cheap, $1. Oh, and by the way, all of these games I think are going to be replacing the copies I already have, because especially this one, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, it is a horrible game. This was $1, but this label is way nicer than the copy I already have, so I'll be keeping this copy instead. Spyro the Dragon Greatest Hits, again, this was $1. What she was saying was that all these cases weren't, almost all these PlayStation game cases are cracked. And she said they weren't like that when she bought them. She thinks they cracked because it got really cold while they were sitting in her car. I think that it might have been a combination of that and the fact that she might have thrown some other stuff onto it. But she said she didn't throw anything on it, so I have to believe her, but, you know. I don't know. Here's another duplicate. Dave Mira Freestyle BMX. She thought I didn't have this, but I do. This is a really bad case. Got really, really cracked. Metal Gear Solid is the Greatest Hits version, but she only paid $1 for this, and everything is in here. 2 discs, 1 manual, but the case got cracked, so I might have to find a replacement for this case. Actually, I have this game, but I have just the cartridge. She got this with the the box, and I think the manual's in here too, for just $1. So it's NBA Live 96. NBA Live 96. And then she swears she totally thought I didn't have this game, so she didn't even bother looking it up. And that is Sega GT 2005 and the Jet Set Radio Future game disc for the Xbox, and it does have both manuals in there. I'll have to check out my copy to see if I have both manuals in there, but I know I do have this because I played Jet Set Radio Future, not a lot, but I really like the music in there. I actually had to find the music for the game so I could listen to it in my car. All this other stuff I didn't have, so we have WrestleMania 2000 for $1. Now, I don't know if I explained it or not, but the Goodwill that she's been picking the stuff up at, if you're wondering why everything was half off, they just keep throwing these games in a bin that is for half off. So all these games from Goodwill are half the ticket price, and she's been doing this for like the past 3 weeks. So I don't know what's up with that Goodwill, but WrestleMania 2000, was it WWF WrestleMania 2000 for $1, WWF Warzone for $1. Bassmaster 2000 for $1, and South Park for $1. I wonder if this is the first-person shooter one. I think it is. I don't think this is a good game, but it's South Park, so I think there's some humor in that game. Let's see, here we got some Super Nintendo games. Bassmaster Classic Pro Edition, $1. Monopoly on the Super Nintendo for $1. And we have The Great Circus Mystery starring Mickey and Minnie for $1. This should be pretty interesting because it's a Capcom game. And we have Scooby-Doo Mystery, again, $1. And this one's pretty interesting because it's got all this marker at the top here. So it should be pretty interesting to try and get that off. Oh man, it's on the label too. What the hell were they doing with this? We'll have to see if I can get that off without ruining the label. I might be able to. And then the Winter Olympic Games. This was obviously got Blockbuster stickers all over it and stuff. So I don't know what the hell they were thinking. $1. It's just more work for me to try and get that off, but I can do it. A couple boxed NES games here. NBA Live 98 for $1, and I'm kind of surprised they were still making Super Nintendo games in 1998. But this does have the manual and the game cartridge, and even the little box that holds it in there. And this one, Bubsy, they actually priced this at $2.99, so it was $1.50. But Bubsy was just a crazy game because it was Accolade's attempt at trying to make a mascot for themselves back when, actually, the mascot phase, I think, was kind of, past its peak at that point, where all these companies were trying to come up with these mascots. And the thing about Bubsy was that he was in a lot of, they made at least 3 games for him. And he actually had his own Saturday morning cartoon. But, you know what, the games, they started out mediocre and just got worse from there. So, this is actually the best Bubsy game, I think. Unless I'm mistaken, I might be missing 1 or 2 there, or here. So, Bubsy, which I think is like one of the best, well, the best Super Nintendo game out of this lot. The one I'm most interested in, anyway. I'm sure it might not be better than the Mickey Mouse one or the Scooby-Doo one. I don't know. So we got some PlayStation games here. No Fear Downhill Mountain Bike Racing for $1. I don't really know anything about that one. Oh, look, Crash Bandicoot Warped Greatest Hits Edition, but it's a great game. $1. Cabela's Ultimate Deer Hunt Open Season for $1. This case didn't get cracked, so wonder why this one escaped such a fate. Championship Motocross featuring Ricky Carmichael. I'd never heard of this game before. $1. And Frogger for the PlayStation for $1. This is a greatest hits version, but this is actually a decent game. It's really not really like the original game, but I guess it is kind of like the original game where it gets more and more complicated, more and more levels. But the thing that was pretty decent about this game was the 2-player mode. Me and my sister used to play this all the time. You tried to race your frog. It would split screen, and I remember the level where you'd have to race headlong and down the highway trying to get to the end of it. And I guess the person who made it 3 times out of 5 won the actual match. I thought it was a pretty cool concept. I got another Xbox game here. Star Wars The Clone War packaged with Tetris World. This was a pack-in, obviously, for somebody's Xbox. Got both manuals in there and the disc. Lord of the Rings The Third Age, and I believe this has everything in there. Yep. This was $2, actually. How much was this one? Oh, this was $2 too. So they were upping the price on these. So this was $2 for $3.99 half price. Trivia Pursuit Unhinged, $2. Marvel Nemesis: Rise of the Imperfects. I really haven't heard this game. I really wasn't paying attention. Again, this was $4, marked down to $2. But a fighting game with X-Men might prove to be pretty interesting. I'm guessing that this was not that great of a game, seeing as how nobody talks about this game anymore. We have 007 Everything or Nothing, $2 on a Bond game. Really don't know too much about this. Maybe kind of this action-adventure type game. Enter the Matrix, with a really messed up case. $2. I was always interested in this game when it came out, but I never bought it for some reason. Mercenaries Playground of Destruction for the Xbox, $3.99, again down to $2. Def Jam Fight for New York for the Xbox, $3.99, marked down to $2. Fighting game in the hood, so I have to check that out. Black on the Xbox is pretty light. I wonder, yeah, but it's got the manual. Wow, the manual's like hardly nothing. That's why this is so light. I guess this was one of the games that a lot of people were looking forward to when it was released. I don't know how much you hear about it. People are probably thinking, oh yeah, that was a good game or something like that, but I was never interested in first-person shooters on consoles, and I still really kind of not. I played a little bit of Modern Warfare 2, and that got me a little bit acclimated to how it works. So I may go back, go check out and see how this is. Then finally, Xbox-wise, SSX On Tour. XXS series has really been pretty good for the most part. Never played this one, but this is still sealed. And it was $3.99, marked down to $2 again. So might have to bust this open and check it out on the Xbox. And then she went to a disc replay, got a couple games there. She got Game & Watch Gallery 2 in the box. There's no manual for this. Looks like it was a rental. The box is kind of smashed, but the cartridge is in here. This is for the Game Boy Color. Yeah, I don't know how much she paid for this. It couldn't have been much. Maybe $2. The price tag isn't on here. And the same goes for this one. Game & Watch Gallery 3 for the Game Boy Color. This one, again, has got the cartridge, but no manual. This box is less crushed. So that's interesting. And then she actually got a couple of Lynx games. And these were $4 each at the disc replay. Blue Lightning, which I didn't have. Todd's Adventure in Slime World, which I didn't have. And Gates of Zendokon, which I didn't have. They had one more game, Road Blasters. I did have that, and she did not pick that up. Now, finally, she went to a Blockbuster that is having a going out of business sale or something like that. And she picked up, she was asking me if I wanted any empty game cases. And I said, sure. And well, first I asked, how much are they? And she said they were giving them away for like $20 for $1. So I was like, sure. And she's like, you want this kind of case? I go, yeah, you get 20. You want this kind of case? Yeah, get 20. If they're 20 for $1, get 20. But then when she came home, let me kind of point out what I got here. They told her just to fill up this box with whatever she wanted, game case-wise. So she filled up this box. I've taken all the games out of there, and I've kind of organized them to what she picked up. And they're over here. These are all the empty game cases she picked up. And I wrote a little name. These are the original Xbox cases. She got 4 of these. 24 Xbox 360 cases. 29 Wii cases, white Wii cases. 23 PlayStation 3 cases. And some of these have the PlayStation 3, most of these have the PlayStation 3 logo at the top. I don't even know if you can read that. There it is. You can see that PlayStation 3 logo right there. Some of them are just regular Blu-ray cases, but the vast majority are PlayStation 3. 8 Nintendo DS cases. 4 of these red DVD cases, like the new this new Super Mario Brothers Wii came in. These can be regular DVD cases as well. And then 27 of these Blockbuster DVD cases, which I'm not particularly fond of. If you're not really sure what I mean by these Blockbuster video game cases, they kind of look like they're GameCube cases on the outside. They got that weird peg hole there. But when you open them up, they have a regular size spindle in there that they could put any kind of size game case in there. And what I don't like about them really, and it says Blockbuster up here, but what I don't like about them is if you put anything but a GameCube game in here with a manual, the manual gets crushed because it's not as wide. So I could just stick like loose DVDs in these, and that'll be fine. So yeah, it's pretty much everything. So ran a little long again. So thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. Bye.
Green bananas and young pineapples ripen in the Caribbean sun.
Stop with the sexual imagery.